topic, okay, but for some reasons we had to re-explain what we did. I think last week Monday, we had to re-explain it again on Wednesday last week, okay. I wouldn't say that we wasted time doing that. At least we use that time to help others to follow up, okay. So in our last class, someone said that he recommended that I should drop a diagrammatic representation of what we did in our last class for you guys, which I did. Okay, another said that that we will briefly talk about that diagram, okay, in this class, and then run one example and move straight into this class. Okay, so if that's okay by everyone, then we should be okay to start.
Okay? That's okay.
All right,
sir. Yeah, it's okay, Sabi.
Okay, sir. All right, so let me bring up that diagram and then we'll start. Let me share my screen here. Okay, so I believe you guys can see that diagram clearly, right? So let's start and zoom this in. Okay.
Yes.
All right, better.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so this was the diagram I left for us on Slack. Okay, so the way this diagram works, you can read it from bottom to up, and so you can read it from up to bottom. Okay, so I'll do both. I'll go from bottom to up, and then from bottom to up, and then from up to bottom. So I'll start with top to bottom first. Okay, so I said that since Django is a Python web framework, meaning that we use it to build websites, okay? And basically, what a website is a collection of pages, okay? And which is what we've seen here, okay? So that's the head there, right? That website is a collection of pages, okay? And then within this website, there are several pages, okay? So you can say we have web page 1, web page 2, web page 3, and so on and so forth. It could be more than this 5, okay? This 5 is just an example, okay? And then web page 1 could be the home page, okay? Web page 2 would be the about page, web page 3 contact page, 4 register, 5 and then sign in, okay? So that could be what this web pages represent, okay? It could represent anything, okay? But for this instance, I'm saying that let the first web page be home page and second web page be about page, okay? It's not as if it's fixed that it must be so, okay? It can be anything, okay? It can be any page, okay? But as far as what we should understand is that a website is a collection of all these pages, okay? So all these pages gathered together forms a website. And then I said that the way Django recommend us building websites or working on any project, Django recommend that we split our project into sections, okay? And these sections, we call it application within Django, okay? So we now say, okay, fine, all right. I answer that in this app is basically collection of logic pertaining to certain pages, okay? That's what this app is, the collection of logic pertaining to certain web pages, okay? So now I now said that in this our website, which we have here, I want to go ahead and create two apps. The first one is called the home app, and the second one is called the account app here. And then I said that this home app will handle all the logic pertaining to the home page, the about page, and the contact page, okay? So now any logic within these 3 pages, I want to handle them within this app. So same thing with account app. I said, okay, that I want this account app to handle all the logic pertaining to the register and the sign-in page. Okay, so that means any logic or any request, anything pertaining to register and sign in, I want to handle those web pages logic within this account app. And then inside this app, each of this app has their views. Okay, and I said that in the views.py file, that's where we write this logic. Okay, so now within this home app, we have the home app views, and then within the account app, we have the account app. Sorry, it should be account app, not account page. And within this app, we have the account app views. Okay, and then for the first view, I want to handle the homepage view, like the homepage web logic. So any logic pertaining to this homepage here, okay, I want to handle it in this first view. And then any logic pertaining to about page, I want to handle it in the second view. And then any logic within the pertaining to the contact page, I want to handle it in the third view. And then all this view is within this home app. And that's why I said that the home app handles logic pertaining to home page, about page, and contact page. All this logic are being handled within the home app views. So we have the view 1 for the home page, the view 2 for the second page, and the view 3 for the contact page. So, and the logic will be handled specifically by each page, sorry, by each view. And coming to the home app, we now have coming to the account app, we now have the account app views. Now, within that account app, we now have its own views, okay? And then these views will now handle any logic pertaining to register and sign-in page. So for the view 1, I'll handle the register page logic, and then for a view 2, I'll handle the sign-in page logic. Now, still within that home app, still within each of these app, okay, we now have the URL, and we said that URL is like mapping, okay, routing, mapping a particular URL to a particular page, okay. And then I said that in order to even perform any logic on any page, we have to be on that page, okay. Like we have to somehow anyhow navigate to that page, okay. So in order for me to handle this home page view that's within the home app, I have to specify a URL that links to that home page, and that URL I'll specify within the home app URL. So now within that home app, I'll specify URL 1 so that a user can navigate to this home page view, which will end up showing the home page and web on the website, okay. So now when the user navigates here, I can come to this view and now handle that logic. So I'll go, since we have 3 views here, I'll go ahead and create 3 URLs within the home app URL. So I have URL 1 that links to the home page and that links to the home page, and URL 2 that links to the about page, URL 3 that links to the contact page. Same with the sign in here. Okay, since we have 2 views there, I'll as well create two URLs here, that, and URL 1 within the account app URL will link to the view 1 of that account app, okay, and URL 2 will link to the sign in page, which is the view 2 within the account app views. Now, all these like from this home URL to the home views, okay, are within the home app, okay. Same thing here, the account URL and the account views are within the account app. Now we have to, since I said that app are basically sections of our product, okay. So now since all these app, both app, the home app and the account app are part of our project app, we have to find a way of linking from our project folder down to those different folders there, okay. So now in order to link to them, okay, because the way this thing works, when someone gets to our browser to the browser and input a certain URL. That URL, the way Django manage that URL have to come from the project URLs. Okay, it has to come from this URL. So Django might not actually be able to skip this folder and then search for that URL here within our app. Okay, so we have to find a way of telling Django, okay, I want to see a certain kind of URL, and then when I see it, I want you to go ahead and come to the app's URL. Okay, so now if we go to our project folder URL, we have the first URL which links to the admin page, right? That URL is always there by default. Each time we start a new project, that URL will always be there. So now what we have to do now is we have to come down and add our own URL, which will be the URL 2 and the URL 3. So now in this URL 2 and 3, what we are telling Django now, we're not telling Django, if I see a certain URL that looks like this URL 2 within that looks like this home app URL, okay, now I want that URL to be able to link with this other home app URLs and then perform a specific logic for a specific page. All right, same thing with the home app URL. It now says, when I'm telling Django, when I see a particular URL that looks like our home app URL, now I want you to go to our home URL, our account app URLs, and then link to a specific view and then perform a specific logic for that view. Okay, is that understood? All right, if not understood, I will explain that same thing again from bottom to up. Okay, so if that first one did not really, if you really get it, the second one you should get it now. Okay,
So please just explain the second one. Let's see.
The second one, okay. All right, so I'll start again. The second one, right, from bottom to up. Okay, so now we know that once we start a project, we have to start with Python manage Django admin start project and then the project name. And then I said that this project will create a certain folder, and that folder will be called our project folder. And then within this our project folder, we have a urls.py file, okay? And that urls.py file, I said that we use that file to create certain URLs for our website. And I said that the way Django works, Django does not if it will not work if we write our views inside that project folder, it will work, okay? But Django has recommended or has spoken or has said that it does not like the fact that we have to write our views within that project folder. So Django now says that we should go ahead and split our project into sections, okay? And then these sections will be called apps, okay? And then answer that once we create this app, we have to find a way to let Django know that we have created this app by going to the settings.py file to register that app, okay? So now we've created two apps here, the home app and the account app, okay? And we registered these apps in our project settings. Now within this app, we have in mind that we need because the thing is that we may not actually know how many pages our website may have, okay? Like when we start the project, we may not actually know how many pages will this website have, okay? But at least we have an idea that this website will require a user to sign in, to sign up, to log out, to log in, okay? And then this website might actually require a user to send an email, all kind of stuff, okay? Then we can now say, okay, fine, I have these things at the back of my mind, though I do not know how many pages in my text for this, for me to actually execute all this sign up and sign in and register, okay? But I know that I have these things at the back of my mind. So now what we do is, okay, and I say, okay, everything sign up, sign out, sign in, log in, anything pertaining to account, okay, that I want to handle it in account app. We now create account app. Now that app will handle all the logic of register, sign in, sign out, what again? Okay, and that's okay. Let's just stick with that for now. And then I say, okay, this our site. A user might want to send us email. Okay, if you go to a website, you now go to their contact page. You see where it says send us an email. And okay, and if you go to like their homepage, you see where they say subscribe to our newsletters. Okay, so now I have that also in mind, but I cannot create only one app to handle send us newsletter. I'm sorry, sign up for our newsletter, and I can also come and create one app to handle send us an email. Okay, so what I'll do, I now create a new app called home app, and I say that this home app will handle everything about send us an email and send us subscribe to our newsletter. Okay, so now within this home app, now that it will handle that logic. Okay, so now and answer that in order to even execute this logic, you have to be on that page. For instance, you want to see where they say send us an email. Send us an email is in contact us page, but we are in home page. How do you get to contact us page? In order to send us the email, you need a URL. Okay, now you need a URL. And now come here and say, okay, this one, URL 3 will now be for contact us page. That is really it will be that URL that user will use to be able to send us that email, and then we now use it to write the logic of sending that email to us. Okay, and I say, okay, fine, and I create another URL in order for user to know more about us. Because if you go to the home page, you see where they say click to know more about us or click about us. Now, how will they, in order for the user to know about us, okay, the user must be in the about page. Now, how will the user get to that about page? We now come here and now create URL 2. That one handles the about page. All these URLs is within the home app, because we have in mind that the home app will handle send us email, subscribe to our newsletter. So since we have it in mind already that the home app will handle that, so all those URLs to these pages will be in this home app. Okay, same thing with the accounts. Now, if you go to the home page, okay, if in someone's home page, you see where they say, so click this button to sign up. Now, when user click that button, how will user get to the sign up page for us to get that details and save those details? So in order for us to perform that logic, the user must be in the register page. Now, how will user be in that register page? Through a URL. Now we create we now create a URL to that page, and this is that page. Remember, this URL now is not in the home app, because we have it in mind that we want the account app to do what? To handle that logic. So we now come within that account app, we now create a URL that will link to the register page. Same thing with the login page. Now, in order to even log into our site, a user must be in that login page. Okay, now how do user be in that login page? The user must use a URL to get to that page. Okay, now if user, now you have to now create a URL that user will now use to get to that page. Okay, so now we are here, now we are within this home app URLs and account app URLs. Okay, now I'll step a little bit down again to explain this again. So now we have these URLs here, we have these URLs there. Okay, we have the home app URLs, we have the account app URLs. Okay, so now a user must come to this URL. A user must come to this URL to be in the home page. A user must come to this URL to be in the about page. A user must come to this URL to be in the register page. A user must come to this URL to be in the sign in page. Okay, now we need a way of, okay, let's say in a school, okay, in a school system, they now say, okay, like let's say in a secondary school system, okay, we have what we call JS1, that's junior secondary school 1, okay, junior secondary school 2, right? That's JSS1 and then JSS2, right? So now inside that JSS1, there is what we call, in some schools, there's what we call JSS1A and JSS1B, and also JSS1C. But they are all JSS1, right? But difference that they split them into A, B, and C, right? So something is happening here. We have in the home app, we have URL 1, we have URL 2, we have URL 3, right? Now, but we want a situation that if we see a particular URL, we just know that URL is taking data to everything about the home app URL. For instance, we see someone, let's use that on the screen again. We see someone in JS1, right? Now we have to hold that person. We take into either JS1A, or JS1B, or JS1C, okay? But that person is in JS1. He must be in either A or B or C. He cannot be in JS2, right? So now same thing is happening here. Within our app, our project folder, we now specify a URL here called home app URL. This URL means if I see this URL, I'm carrying you to the home app, and you must either be and this URL must either link to either URL 1 in the home app, or URL 2 in the home app, or URL 3 in the home app. Our first is you are in this home URL. When I carry you there, you must match. Okay. Same thing here in account app. It means when I see this kind of URL, okay, I'm carrying that user to either URL 1 in the account app or URL 2 in account app. And when I take you there, you must match any of them. If you not match any of them, it means you're not a student of that school. Okay, same thing in that secondary school stuff. If I see a student that's in JSS1, okay, if I take you to JSS1A and check your name in the attendance list and you're not there, I check in JSS1B, I check your name in the attendance list and you're not there, I check in JSS1C and your name is not still there, invariably, it means you're not a student of that school and you cannot be in JS1. You might be in JS2, you might be in JS, but definitely not in JS1. Okay, same thing is happening here. We see it as a root URL, okay, a root URL. Now, if I create a home app URL here in the project URL, it means when a user type in that home app URL that is in this project, I'm taking that user to URL 1 or URL 2 or URL 3 in the home app, and you must match it. If you don't match it, then that URL that you are entering is not in the home app URL. It might be in the account app, it might be in other app, but as far as I've carried this first part, this home app URL, and match all these ones, I can humbly, or I can confidently tell you that URL you entered is not in our home app. Same thing with the account app. Once I see a root URL for the account app, I'm taking that user here to either URL 1 or URL 2 in the account app URL. And if you're not there, it means that URL does not exist in that app. It might exist in another app, but definitely not in that app. Okay. So that's the logic that is happening here between the project folder URLs and the app URLs. It means when I see a root URL, I am matching you with all these URLs here, and you must match any of them. If you don't match any of them, it means you're not in that app. Okay. Same thing with the account app there. Okay. So now from this app URL then, so now when same thing with the school stuff, I'll bring that school and that school thing back. Now, when I get these students and match the student with JSS1A or JSS1B or JSS1C, okay, if I see a student name either in A, B, or C, then I can now say, okay, now go to your class. That is now your class. Now go and attend classes. That is your class. Same thing here. Once the root URL matches any of this, okay, it now goes to the home view, because this URL now is now leading to the home page view, and then Django can now tell the user successfully or with confidence, now go and display what is there in that home view. Okay, same thing is happening here. Now, once a URL is matched, okay, it executes that view. Okay, so now if it was the home page URL, it's now show the home page view. If it matches the about page URL, it's now show the about page view. Same thing with the contact page. Okay, so now this other one too, same thing with the account app. Okay, once I get the root URL here, I'm taking you to account app URL. And you must match this URL. So now if it matches this first URL, I'll now go ahead and show the view URL. If it matches the URL too, you can and then go ahead and show the view too. Right. So now once I now get here, any logic within this view, I will now process that logic and now show the respective page. Okay, if it was home page view, I'll process the logic within that view and now show this page, the home page there. If it was about page, and now process the logic there and now show the about page. If it was a contact page, and now process that logic there and now show the contact page. Same thing within the account app. If I get to this view and process this view, and then I'll now go ahead and show the register page view and the register page. Sorry. So if it was the sign in view, I'll process that logic there and then go ahead and show the sign in view. And then all these pages now, we'll now collect them together. I will now call it a website. And that is bottom to top explanation. Is there any question?
So are we going to practicalize it?
Yes, I will do one example and then you see. So
Okay, sir.
All right, so let me do one more example and then we move. Okay, so remember our project is, I'll go ahead and open our project. Okay, so probably by keep before the class. Okay, I don't open it and keep because I want us to get used to it. Okay, I want us to get used to the fact that each time we want to start a project, we must come to a command prompt and navigate to our project folder. Okay, so each time we want to start our project, I'll keep on doing this. I'll keep on navigating. Okay, I won't do it and keep before the class. I'll just do it in the class. Okay, so we'll move to our document. That folder is in documents. The folder is in our document. Sorry, in my documents, not in your documents, my own documents. It's in my documents. I don't know where yours is. Okay, but mine is in my document, and within my document, I have it in my Django, KodeCamp project, and then my site, right? So I have to navigate to there. Okay, but okay, so I'll navigate to my CD, then change directory, CD document. Okay, and then another one is sorry, I'm not keeping track of that stuff. The KodeCamp projects. KodeCamp project. Okay, another word there is okay. Let's be here first. And now I have to activate my environment before now I'm here, right? I have to activate this environment here, then I move into this site. Okay, because if I move into this site, I can activate that environment because that environment is in this directory. Okay, so I'll now activate the environment venv, okay, /script/activate, okay, with the optional .bat, or you can leave it. Okay, my environment is activated, and now cd into the project itself, my site, and we are there in our site. Okay, so I'll go ahead and open this folder in my Visual Studio Code. Okay. 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 And give a few minutes. Let's see if it's loading. All right. So we are going to use this diagram. Okay. So we'll use diagram, but in this time around, I'll do it from bottom to up. Okay. I'll do it from bottom to up. Right. It seems that bottom to up looks simpler to me. Looks simpler. Okay. So we do it from bottom to up. All right. So okay, so this is where we left off. Okay, I said that when I come, we'll create a new app called account app. Okay, so we just do that right now.
Lisa, can you go over the how you got to the visual the Visual Studio Code.
Okay, how I get here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what I did is that I navigate to, I open my file manager on my Windows, okay, and navigate to where that project is, where that project folder is, okay. Now the good thing about Visual Studio, once you install it, you can access it from anywhere on your system. So I right click on an empty space, all right, and then I'll see where it says opens with code, okay, and then you click it open this folder within Visual Studio.
Okay.
All right, man. Okay, so we'll follow this diagram, okay, and then we'll do it till the top, okay. So but first of all, I'll have to we already have the home app, so I'll create the account app, okay, and try to see how can I explain both of them there and at once during the process. Right. So in order to create app, remember the command is Python manage.py, okay, start app, okay, and then the app name. The app, I want to call it account. You know what app is? App is basically a folder with with files, okay, pre-written code. So we don't have to create that folder manually and write this code by ourselves. So we just create that folder with this command, okay, and that folder will be called an app. Because that folder is in our project folder, okay. So we click enter and nothing will show, okay. It just take us back here. But if you open our project again, we have a new folder here, account, okay, with all these files within it, okay. So that account now is now an app, okay. That account now is now an app, okay. So after that, we have to turn our server back on to be sure that our server is up and running. So to do that, we use the command python manage.py run server, all right, run server. And then we see if, let's see if our app is running properly. Sorry, let's see if our project is still up and running. So open a new one there and up there. Then one and there. Oh, the sales page not found. Okay, let's see what's happening here. All right, so so the URL we had here was home-home. Okay, was home-home. I'll tell you why we had that home-home later along the course. I'll tell you why. All right, so probably when I'm explaining other things, I'll explain that as well. So home-home. Let me show, of course, that our server is up and running. So it's home-home. Okay, we have home page, right? So don't worry, I'll explain why. Okay, I'll explain everything again. So now we've created a new app, right? And this is the app here in our folder, in our VS Code, the account folder. And I say that once you create an app, you know what, you already start that app in your settings.py file, and that settings.py file is found within the project folder. So we come to settings.py, we click on it, and then we navigate to where you say installed app, okay. Where you say install app, we then see this is a list, okay. So this is a list, and I remember any variable, like any word that outside quotation is known as a variable. So since accounts, you have to write it in strings, okay. You have to write it in strings, right? You can't just come and type in account like this, right? And this will throw an error, okay. This will throw an error. You have to write it in strings, okay. So that's that. So account is registered, okay. So but before this class end, I will give me comments here, so I'll come back and show you guys. Okay, the recommended okay, I spelled it wrongly. Recommended way of registering an app. Right. So before the end of the class, I'll come and show you that it's just a small change there. Okay. But for now, this is how we do it. We just write the app name, okay, account, and the app is, and now Django is aware that that app exists within our project. Okay. So now, where are we? Let's go back to our structure. Okay. So now we are starting from here, our project URLs, okay? So now, this project URL is us saying we are now in a school, okay? So this is our project URL, our project folder, okay? Now within that URL, we'll create another URL, okay? Another path, all right? So now the first part we had here, see this part, okay? See this whole thing, okay? When it comes to project URL, see it as a school, okay? Like what we said earlier, okay? See this first one as JS1A, okay? The first one. All right, so let me just come here and comment outside. You can see this one as JS1A, JSS1, okay? Sorry, JS1, right? Not A or B, not C, okay? This one is like a general JS1, right? So the second one now will be like a general JSS2, right? So I'll create another part for our account, okay? And I'll call this part JSS3, right? JSS3, okay? So what is happening here is I'm saying once I see this URL, my dash account, and I'm taking you to JS3, and you must belong to either JS3, JS3A or JS3B, okay, or JSS3C. What this means is when I come to this our URL, let me hide this. Let me hide that thing. Let me hide this thing. This thing is making life difficult for me here. Let me hide this. Okay. So what that thing means is when I come to this URL, okay, right? That port number must be there by default, okay? I'll show you how to move it later, but for now it should be there. It means that when I see my dash account, okay, follow with slash there, right? When I see that, I'm taking that user to JSS3, right? And that user must belong, right? Must belong to either JSS3A or JSS3B or JSS3C, okay? If I cannot find that user there, okay, that means that student is not a student of that school, or probably is not even in JSS3, all right? That's what it means. Same thing with this one here, home-home, all right, which is for JSS2. It means that when the user comes to this URL, that our navbar, sorry, that tab there and type home, okay, home, and then add that backslash. I am taking that user to JSS2, right? And that user must belong to either JSS2A or JSS2B or JSS2C, okay? And JSS2 in this case is our home app, okay? Same thing with the JS3 here in first our account app, right? People understand that explanation, that points there. That when the user type in home-home, I'm taking that user to JSS2, and that user must belong to either JSS2A or JSS2B or JSS2C. Okay, same thing with JS3 here. When I see my dash account followed by this slash, I'm taking that user to JSS3, and that user must belong to JSS3A or JSS3B or JSS3C. Okay, now this is now we've got this student, right? Let's say we've got this student either in any of these parts, right? If we got the student at home-home, all right, that means that student told us that he or she is in JSS2. So now we have to carry that student to where? Either section A or section B or section C. Okay, and now check the attendance. Either students, sorry, check the register. Either student name is there. Okay, same thing here. We've got the students here at my dash account, being that student has not told us that he or she is in JSS3. Now you have to carry that student to the classroom and check section A, B, or C and see if that student is there. And how do we carry that student down to that classroom? We use the include keyword, okay? The include keyword, right? So now the classroom now here is now the home.url, okay? So now I've got the student, okay? Maybe outside the school gate in the field, okay? I've got a student at home-home, okay? Okay, I've got the students, and then that student said that his or her name is home-home. And I asked them, okay, which class are you? And I said that he or she is in JSS JS2. Now I have to carry that student to where? To the classroom, and that classroom in this case, we can say that classroom is our home.url. That is our home app URL. Same thing with account app. We've got a student, and then that student said that his or her name is my-account, right? Now we have to carry that student to the classroom and check either in section A or section B or section C. Okay, and that is our account.urls, which is JS3 in this case or JS2 in this case. Okay, so now where are we now? We've passed this level now of catching a student. Now we're not going to check if that student is in that school or not, right? So now we are now here, right? So now within our account, we have to go to account URLs, but clearly Django did not create that file for us for obvious reasons, which I don't know. Okay, so you have to create that file manually within our account app. Okay, so I now create a new file here called urls.py. Okay, and then within this url.py, there are certain command, there are certain code that we need. Okay, and to create a URL, we use path to create that URL. Okay, other versions of Django, like Django 1.1.8 and below, use URL. Okay, but since Django is being updated almost every year, every month, okay, and I said that it's no more URL, like now path. So in order to use path, we have to import path. And to import path, I said that these things you don't have to cram where to import them. Okay, just know what you want and how to use it, and then you can Google up where to import it from. Okay, so I'll go ahead and import mine because I know where it is. Okay, so from Django, okay, .urls, right? That's where our path is. I will import path. Okay, and then I answer that our URL is simply a collection of URL, like it's a list. Okay, and how do we create a list? With square brackets. You create a list with a square bracket. All right, and I said that since this is Django, this list must be called URL patterns. Okay, so you have URL patterns here, URL patterns, right? That list must be called URL pattern. Then within this list, we can now create our path. So we can say for part 1, which is the same thing for part 1, okay, which is the same thing as section A. That we've brought the student now to the classroom. We're now checking section A. Okay, so I'll copy this and paste multiple times, right? So since this is the list, we separate each of them by a comma, okay, which I have done there. So I'll just, and this one is section B. This section B, okay. So I've separated them with a comma. Since this is a list is a collection of items separated with comma, right? So now and answer that when I get to section A, and I check the attendance. How do I check their register? Okay, but check the register and I see sign up. Okay, and I say, okay, this student is in sign up class, which is section A. Okay, and I say that this student is now in sign up class, which is section A. Okay, and then I can now go ahead and tell the students, young man or young woman, go to the sign up view, which is now your class. Okay, so but for now we don't have that view. Okay, so we don't have that view. All right, so I will leave that view for now. Okay, I'll leave that view for now. So then for class B, and I check the attendance. In order to be in section B, you have to belong to the login class. Okay, and I check if your name is there. Okay, and I say, good, young man or young woman, now go to your login view, which is the login class. Okay, so I've done that for. I've now been able to bring that student from the field or from the gate or from outside school, right, to the student's class. Okay, depending on what the student said, depending on the class the student specified here that he or she belongs to. Okay, so I've been able to bring a student to his or her different sections. Okay, now I have to create that class for that student. Like now I've been able to bring that student to this class, which is section. This is now JS2. Okay, this whole one now is now JS2, and this is now JS2A and JS2 B. And now if a student belongs to any of these sections, because a student cannot belong to two sections, okay, must belong to one of them, okay? So, or none, one or none, not both, okay? So now if he belongs to this section, I want to send him to a particular view, that to that sign up view, that sign up class, okay? And now say that we create that view in our view.py file. So now within our account app, that's within our JS2 class, okay? And I'll create a class called view. And I said that we have two types of view, a class-based view and a function-based view. And for this tutorial, and for this class, we are going to stick with, for this class, we are going to stick with a function-based view, okay? So this is def, and to create the function, we use the keyword def. And then we now say that this first one now will be the sign up class for those people that are in sign up, okay? And I said that since this is a web framework, okay, that it takes request as a compulsory argument, you must give it to it, okay? Give the request to that function view, okay? So we put that request there. It's compulsory, you must put it there. And then I said that we should return a HTTP response for now, okay? HTTP response. We haven't imported it yet, and honestly, I can't remember where it is, okay? But I know that we've used it, so I just go somewhere and copy it, and here it is. So I know what I want to do. I know what the HTTP response does, but I can't remember where it is, okay? So I just went and copy it somewhere and bring it here, right? So now, and I say, once the student comes here, I want it to return a HTTP response, okay? Response that says, it could be anything, okay? This response will be a paragraph, okay? That says sign up here, okay? Sign up here.
Yes, sir. Please, that's the Django dot shortcuts or import reader. Like, what's the function of that?
Okay, yes, when the times come, I'll tell you, okay? But for now, let's use this. We're using this, okay? For now, we are using this. Let's leave the render for now. So this class now is now for the sign up people, right? For students that are in sign up, okay? Now the next one is the login class, okay? The next one is the login class. And remember, these things takes request as a compulsory argument. I now say to return an HTTP response that says this one will be a bold tag. All right, these are all HTML.
So I need to call the spelling of return.
Okay, sorry. So we return this. We return this, and we'll say login here, okay? And then we close that tag, okay? Those are HTML tags, okay? Not Django tags. These are just pure HTML, okay? Right, so that is that for that student, okay? So now I've been able to bring that student from where? From the field, okay? From the field. And that student told me that his name is my account. I now know that my account, and I asked him which class are you, and answered that he is in JS3. Not even the section, just the JS3. I have to bring him to where account URLs, which is our JS3. So now when I come to this account URL and I check, is he in section A or section B? Okay, if he's in section A, I want him to be in the login class. If it's in section A, sorry, I want it to be in the sign up class, then be in the sign up in the login class, okay? And in order to do that, you have to bring that view down here, okay? So you can say from our current directory, because those files, the URL file and the views file are in the same directory, okay? So from the same directory, bring in the views file here, okay? And then we import. Go ahead and import. How many views is there? We have the sign up view and comma. Each view, after each view, put the comma, okay? We have another view they call login view, okay? So these views now are like the classes, okay? So now I've been able to bring that student here, and I've been student that he's in section A, and I check his attendance, and his name is there. If his name is there, and it's just for me to go ahead and tell the students, young man, go to go to the sign up class. Okay, go to sign up class. And if I take his name in the login class and his name is there, okay, simple, young man or young woman, go to login class. We have to put our comma there. Go to login class. Okay. Okay. So same thing is happening here in the home. Okay. I got another student. They put another thing that his name is home-home. Anthony, which class are you in? I said that he's in JS2. And now no problem. Let's go to JS2 class. We'll find out if you are there. Okay. So now I'm bringing you to the JS2 class. Now will now be the home.urls, which is this file here. Okay. This file here. And I say, which section are you? And I say that he's in JS2. A. And I check, if not there. Young man, come to B. Let's check there. And I check again, is in JS2 B. If it's there, go to the about class. Okay. If you're in A2, go to the home class. If you're in section C, simple, young man or young woman, go to the contact class. Okay. So with that, I'll be able to catch any student and now assign a student to his or her class. And how do we do that in? How do we do that in? How do you actually do that in the browser? Okay. Now we've done the code. Now how do we do that in browser? So now, and answer that when we type in home-home there, I'm telling the browser, carry that young man or that young woman that is typing down home-home there. Okay. Take that young man to where? The home class, the home URL, and then check each attendance. If that young man is there, if he's in this about class, please take that young man or young woman to about class. If he's in contact class, take him or her to the contact class. And then how do you do that? Now, and I say that the remaining part of this URL is where we have decide if it's in section A or section B. Okay. And for section A, in order for it to be in section A, you don't have to even bear anything as your surname. Okay. That first one, that home-home was like the person's first name. So now to be in section A, the requirement is don't bear any surname. So meaning that after typing home-home, I should not add anything again. And when I click enter, it should take me to where I think our server is having problems somewhere. Somewhere. Okay, let's see. Okay, our server went off, so let's bring it back on again. Okay, now it's back on. So let's refresh this. So now, and answer that in order to be in the home class, in the home section, that is section A, don't bear any surname. Just bear home-home without surname. Okay. Just hearing home-home. You're in section A. Okay, that's what is happening here. Home-home. Nothing follows. No surname. Okay, no surname after there. And I know, yes, this student, you are here, you are in the home class, and I'll carry you to the home view and I'll show you this home page. But if the student tells me that he did that his surname is all this one here, about dash me slash for dash me slash for dash us, Oga or Madam, Mr. and Mrs., you are in a bad class. I will take you there, even if you don't want to be in that class. You must be in that class. Okay. So now if a person now type in home-home as his surname and now attach a surname after that slash, attach a surname as about dash me slash for dash me slash for dash us, about page, that is where you will be, in the about page. Okay. Same thing happens again. If a person now type home-home and now say his surname is now contact me, bros, sis, auntie, uncle, you are in the contact class. Okay. So now when a person now comes here and now type in home-home and now say that his surname again is now contact. Let's see that surname again. Let's see that surname again. It is contact me. That is surname to be in that class. So now the person now types in home-home and now said that and now added his surname as contact me. Young man, young woman, you are in contact me class or contact me page. That's where you will be. Okay. So now, same thing happens again. What if we caught another student? We caught another student probably jumping the fence, or I don't know, stealing, just catch another student somewhere, okay? And I said and answer that his name is my dash account. I will take you to JS3, which is the account URLs, okay? So now, once I see my accounts here, I just know that they're not in JS2 again, because JS2, all their first names start with home dash home. The surname differentiate each of those students, okay? So now when I see dash my dash account, okay, my dash accounts here, okay, when I see that, I'm taking you straight because I know that it's like a generic name for all of them in JS3, that their first name must start with my dash account. Now, what differentiates each of those students now is now their surname. And I'll come to, I'll just take you to JS3 class first before even asking you for your surname. I won't ask you for your surname at the field or wherever I caught you. It's when I get to your class, I'm not asking for your surname. Okay. So now when I call the and call my account, automatically I know that every student that bears my account as their first name, they are in JS3, and which is the account.url. So I'm taking you straight to account.url. Now when I get here, and then the student now lied to me and said that his surname is now log out. He lied, and I check page not found. I'll tell you, young man, young woman, you're not in that class. Even if you're in that class, you are telling me the wrong name. Now tell me your correct name, your correct surname, okay? So now the other one say, okay, fine. My correct surname is now login. And I'll say, see, you're now in login class. Now you can now and I got another student with the name my account. I just know there are all these people, they are in JS3, all of them. So when I get to my account, before I ask you for your surname, do you have a surname? Give it to me now. Now his surname is now sign up. Okay, so you now sign up. And when I click sign up, and I see page not found, and I say, Oga, you are lying to us. Your name is not signed up. Well, the guy, he is actually correct, but the problem was, okay, I know it's not correct. It's not correct. He's lying to us. He's lying to us. Sign up.
Spelling.
Yes, sorry. He's actually correct, but our spelling. Our spelling. So our spelling is here. Sign up. So we change that. I will now apologize. Students, don't be angry. We misspelled your name. Let us check again. Okay, you're not in sign up class now. Go to your class and bring out and go and learn what is going on in that class. So that is app and that is routing mixed together. That is that. Question.
Okay, you say that this is app and routing, Abby?
Yes, that's how they work.
Where that is confusing is, the aspect of, I think you just have to explain the folder aspect of this now. I know that we created in the URL, there is a specific code that is being written there for the start project URL. Then the app URL, there is a code that is being the same code written in home and account was like it's the same code or different.
Okay. Yeah.
Then for the view has the same code for all of them, but different HTML. I think this particular aspect now is what is confusing. This folder aspect now.
Okay, that folder aspect.
Yeah, another thing again, how to know the particular thing to import. Now I know that I don't know if we import the Django.url without putting from. Is it going to cover everything? Like that,
yes.
That URL you have now.
Yeah.
I don't mean I would say import the Django.url. Then we forget about the path. Then we cannot like use the path and use the include without having to put it on that descent line. I think can it work?
It will work. Yes.
So that it can be making things easy for us. Then
Okay, but
another aspect as well.
okay, I said that that method of importation brings thousands of lines of code. There are a lot of modules within that URL. So importing the entire module where we need just two methods there, part and include, doesn't really looks good, okay? Because as a programmer, we are at speed, okay? Because nobody will use a software that takes time. It's just like you're going to an ATM, an ATM, and have ATM1 and ATM2, okay? And then ATM1 is dispensing money at let's say like five minutes, okay? 5 minutes, and then ATM2 is not dispensing money at 1 minute. You will see that people tend to join that 1 minute on more than the 5 minutes on, okay? That's because nobody wants to use an app that's lagging, that's taking time, okay? So importing the entire Django.urls, if that is in all your URLs, then you might actually have over 1 million lines of code in one file, okay? So I recommend this way, okay? But that other way to work, okay? It works as well. So the thing is, I said that you don't have to know where to import it from, okay? Just know what you want to use and how know what that thing works and how that thing works, okay? Then you can Google where to import it from, okay? As easy as that. Now we know that you need paths to create a URL. You don't have to cram where path is, okay? Just Google where can I import path in Django. They will show you. You copy it and go and paste it here.
Try it now. Let me see.
I should Google it.
Yeah, try it now. Let me see. Let me see how you know where to import it from.
Okay, just type here how, or let's say where
Okay.
to import path in Django. Yeah, always put Django, so because it's kind of like a keyword, okay? So you know that, it's Django that you are looking for, okay? And this one says, this great part, you can add your answer here. So I want you search it makes life easy for you, okay? So you can just any of this should show you that, okay? And then you see it here from Django.urls import path. It's even here, okay? It's even here. It's there. So now you can see the path function is contained in the Django.urls module. So you can just copy this code and go and paste in your project and work with it. You don't have to cram where those things is, okay? Don't cram it. Don't cram it. So please, okay, that is that, okay? Then for the project folder URL, okay? I said see this URL as a generic, or should I say a root URL, okay? Let's say that in this class thing, okay, in this class you need just stuff, okay, that they are classifying students based on their first name, okay? Let's say they say that all savior should be in JS2, okay? If your name is Savior, your friend is Savior, you must be in JS2. Then when you get to that class, you can now be either A or B depending on your surname, okay? Still like that, see it in that way, see it that way, you understand it better, okay? See it as a root name. Now that's that all Shelby, okay? All Shelby should be in JS3. As far as your name is Shelby, you must be in JS3, okay? Then you can have another one called Ada, okay? As far as your name is Ada, you must be in SS1, okay? So see like that. And these classes are referring to the applications URL, okay? It's referring to the applications URL, okay? Like this one now, this JS2, we are referring to the home URL, and home is an application within our project, and accounts too is an application within our URL, okay? So the project folder URL is like a base name, okay? It means that if someone type in home, see home as the first name, home seen as a first name. If someone type home, that person, like in fact, your brother should be looking at the home applications, okay? Now if someone typing my account, the brother should be looking at the account URLs, okay? And then what differentiate this view? And then when someone typing this, okay, as a root name, okay, say like a home means you must be in JS2. My account, you must be in JS3, and those classes now are referring to like the applications URLs. Like for now, we have home. We now say refer to home URL. my account refer to account URL. And now what differentiates that view from the other view now is now like the surname. So now if for instance, now I say that savior, all savior must be in JS2. Now, what differentiates me from being in section A or in section B is if I get to that class, and I say that all people, like all students with Basi as their surname, section A, all people with Okon as Emmanuel as their surname, section B, Samuel as their surname, section C. So that means what we have in common, all of us there now has a first name of Savior, okay? But I now am in section B because my own name is Savior Basi. So Basi are for those for in section A, okay? Another person that is section B now is not Savior, but his own name is Samuel, okay? So now Savior Samuel, section B. So now someone that can see too is his name too is Savior, okay? But his own name is now Tommy, Thomas, okay? So Savior Thomas, section C, okay? Same thing is happening here. Same thing is happening here. My account, okay? Same thing is happening here, right? If you come here and type my account, okay? My account, okay? All of them have that my account. What differentiates them from the other one is that this one have a surname of login, okay? And the other one has a surname of sign up, but all of them, okay, has this root name of my account, okay, and that is it. So that is how you should see it in that manner, okay. It will be easier, okay. It will be easier. See it as a class, and the URL of a project, of a root project should be like a root name, okay. Like I just said, you can use names like you can use names. Okay, so yeah, you can use names like this one. I said that Savior, all Savior must be in JS2A. Now, what differentiates someone that's in A and someone that's in B and someone that's in C? Okay, A could be that you are bearing Savior, but you do not have to have a surname. So you just be a Savior without no surname, and you be in section A. Okay, and another one will be a Savior, but with Basi. If you want to be a Basi, section B. Okay, same thing again. Once you be a Savior, and then your surname is Samuel, section C. Okay, so same thing here, right? So now what happened here is if you go to the URL now, if someone goes to URL and then type home-home, okay, home-home. Anybody that bears home-home, okay, should be in home, like should be in the home app. Now, what differentiates this section A from section B from section C? The person must have his surname of the first one. To be in section A, you must have a first name of home-home without any surname. With this, you can be in section A, okay? You don't have to have a surname. Then, to be in section B, you have to be a home.home, but have to be this whole thing here. You have to be this whole thing here as your surname to be in section B.
Okay.
Then another thing again is home.home again. To home-home. Now you have to be a what? Contact me to be in section C. Okay. So all of them had the same root name, home-home. But what differentiates one home-home from another home-home? Okay, their surname is the remaining part. Okay, that remaining part, and that remaining part, you can find that remaining part in where? In the app URLs. That's why we say after the home.home, you do what? You include app URL. That is continued from app URLs, meaning all Savior this way. Leave your as far as finding a Savior, go to the left. Okay, now when we get to that left hand side, you can now section your put to different places depending on your surname. Okay, same thing with the account, same thing with this account. It means once I type in my dash account in that URL there. Okay. Now, in order to be in section A, you have to have a sign of what? Sign up. Okay, to be in section A.
Okay.
Now,
Boss, I have a question.
okay, sir.
Assuming now we have forget password app.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
Now, and I come to this account because this account is one that has the sign in and the sign up.
Okay.
Yeah. So now I now want to create an app, a
Okay.
different app that will be like forget password.
Okay.
You understand? A different app that will be forget our password. Then and I
Okay.
can I use that include after I say
Yes.
from the Django.ui, can I use that include in this particular folder? Can it work? Like I will not say, okay,
If
I cannot say like maybe part.login.
okay, I understand. Like if you can use it in this account app, okay, like they include, okay, right? So they include, you only use it in the project folder URL, okay,
So
because
it can't work here. It can't work on the app URL.
I've not tried it before, but I don't think it will work on the app URL because an app is a subsection of the folder, okay? So that, including that, well, it might work, okay? It might work. Haven't tried it before, but it doesn't look proper, okay? So you can either create a new app and then create a URL within that app and then include that URL in the project folder app, or you can come here and create and still use this account app to handle the change password, understand? So you can now come here and create a new part here that say this one will now be change
Forget
change
password.
or forget password, okay? Forget password, okay? And then now say, and what the class or what the view for that will now be forget password, okay? You now go and create that view for a forget password, okay? Now to be in that class, and then this class will now be for section C. Now to be in this class, what will the user need to be in this class? Okay, what is required for a user to be in section C of account class? Okay. What requirement does it? Okay, what's the URL?
You enter the root first, which is my dash account.
Okay, my
Then
dash account.
/ forget password. Forget hyphen password.
Forget, exactly. That is what is required to be in that section. Okay, that's what is required to be in that section. And this section will now be dash C. This will now be section C.
Okay, now another question now.
Okay.
All this URL that we write now, assuming that we are in a company,
okay,
we are in a fintech, and we are like back-end designers and we have the front-end designers. Okay. This URL that we created in Vue, that we created as a function in Vue, that we are importing on the URL of each app for each app folder.
Okay.
Now, what will the a front end designer finish designing the front page for both? If you click, you have designed the link for the forget password. You have designed the link for the sign on, for the login. Okay. When you click it on the page, just like those examples you showed us. When you click it on the page, you work. When you click on the page, you work. So how do we make that as in
how do we do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That was what we were supposed to discuss today. Template tags and static files. Okay. So when we start this topic, you understand how that works. Okay. You understand how that works.
Okay. You can also explain the view aspect for us, the view folder for us.
Okay, yes, I will. Okay, the view folder. The view folder, this view folder shows, it displays a particular page, and that based on this URL that is as now entered. Okay, take for instance the section A now show the sign up views. Okay, so now once I see this, or once the user types in this, this view will execute. Okay, that's how the view is. This view only executes
because we imported it.
Yes.
I think that we import it. It will not work now.
It's not work. This thing will throw an error like this one. And that we don't have that view. Okay? Yeah, that function is not there. Now, if I open my command prompt, you see that you have an error saying, okay, the error says is about this other one. So I'll cut this one out. So that should show an error now that says, let's see. Show an error that says, okay, home.url. Okay.
It's showing the one in the home.
Yeah, it's showing the one in home. So let's call this one to out, and then that one is out. Okay. Now we have, and now I was saying that name forget password not defined. Okay.
Define.
So that's it. So we have to go and create a function for that one. Okay. But for now, I'll not do that. But you can do it. You can do it. So that is that. So I believe I've been able to explain routing and app so everybody's understanding. Please, I recommend if you don't understand, watch this video. Okay, watch this particular video. You can leave the other ones, but watch this particular one. The one is.
Please, I also like you to explain the reason why we imported that HTTP response in Vue.
Okay, in Vue, because we want to use this module. Okay, we want to use this module. So and we can't use this module if it's not been imported. Okay, so to use it, we have to import it, right? So we are currently using it here. Okay, we are currently using it here to output this. Okay, because we can't say print because this is a web application.
It's like the output. It's like the output.
Yeah, it's like the output. So if you say print, what will happen here is that print will only print to our command prompt. Okay, print will only print to our command prompt, not to the web browser. Okay, so to send something to the web browser, we need to use this keyword, this function here. This
just like the way we have echo in
exactly in
PHP.
Exactly. Okay. So that is how it is. Okay, that is how it is. So I believe there's no other question, because I really want to touch this. Okay, so probably when I touch this, okay, we understand more. Okay, we understand more.
Okay, let's touch it.
So let's touch that. I think we have like 40 something minutes. Okay, so for anyone that still find it difficult to understand, please, I will recommend to watch this particular video, this particular one, watch this one. You can leave the other ones, watch this particular one. And also our tax is coming up, okay? So you just be prepared. Then about the tax, probably after the class, we'll discuss small how we want to solve the issue of submitting the tax. And because now you won't just be submitting a single Python file, you'll be submitting the entire project and the entire project folder. So you have to discuss how you have to do that. Okay. So probably after the class, can just spend like 3 minutes and I'll explain how you can do that. Okay. So in today's class, we're going to talk about template tags and static files. Okay. So in summary, of course, this one is pure English. Okay. It's not English that you want to learn now. It's the practical. But the practical is more important than the English definition of all stuff. Okay, so template in common sense or in easy definition or in easy understanding, template in Django refers to HTML files, and web browsers, or should I say web pages, are being created with HTML files. I believe most of us already know that. Okay, templates are HTML files. Any HTML file in Django sees us, knows that file has a template, and we must put this file in a way that Django will know, okay, this is template. Okay, because Django will not just know that this file is HTML file. Django has to, you have to tell Django this particular file here, they want this one with this HTML .html extension is a template. Okay, see it as a template so that Django can be able to use it or work with it or do anything with it with the fact that with the mindset that I'm working with a template file, okay? And then template tags in easy understanding and easy terms, simple and how do I put it? Easiest form, okay? Same template tags refers to any means or any post or any function, okay, that assists us in writing Python code within HTML files, okay? Like now, if you have an HTML file, you can't go inside HTML file and go and write print hello world, okay? It's just print hello world as it is, like print with hello world. It's just display like that. Okay, so now for us to actually print hello world, and instead of to print hello world to print, like it just shows hello world, okay? Now that medium or that ability of doing that, we use what we call tags, and those tags are called template tags, and they are called template tags because we use them within HTML files, okay? And HTML files are templates in Django. Now, static files. Static files, on the other hand, are any other files that is not HTML. Django sees those files as static files. Any other files, it could be a JavaScript file, a picture, any file at all that does not carry the extension of HTML is known as a static file. Should I define it again?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay, so sorry, I think most of us are still asking for slide. I said that slide might not be coming again because Django is not just about typing, reading the slide. You have to actually do the practical. So the practical will, if what I talk is just what you want to have to write, okay? You have to jot it down. At times, this definition, I don't cram it, okay? I just say it as I understand it, okay? As everyone should understand it, okay? So that definition, I might say it again, and it might actually be exactly what I said. That's because I at least said it as it should be understood, okay? It's not a fixed definition. So they might not be slide, but they will not be slide, okay? So just jot down any possible points, and then for practical, please watch the video for practical. So template, I said that template in its easiest form of understanding or in simplest definition, that any template in Django refers to any file that has .html extension. Okay, I'll show you example of HTML file for the purpose of those that does not know what an HTML file is. Okay, template is any file that you can have a file called index.html. This file is a template file. Okay, is a template in Django. Okay, so any HTML file within Django is known as a template file, and we have to configure it or put this file in a specific way that Django can understand. Okay, and answer that the other one is what? Template tags. Okay, template tags are any function or any medium or any parameters, or not parameters, any, should I say, any function, let's use function, any function, okay, or any block of anything, okay, like as far as that thing helps us to write Python code, okay, within our HTML file, and then it executes the actual Python code, not the actual writing, the actual Python code. For instance, if I write print hello world in HTML, okay, what do we expect? We expect to see hello world and not the entire print hello world, okay? So anything that helps us to process this within a HTML file, that thing is known as template tag, okay? The ability for us to write HTML.
Static now.
No, that's I'm talking about template tags now. The ability for us to write Python code within an HTML and it executes as a Python code. It executes as a Python code. Those things that help us is known as template tags. And why it is called template tags is because they are used within HTML file. Okay, you cannot use them outside HTML file. Okay, they are used inside HTML file. Okay, and then template on the other hand is known as HTML files. Okay, any HTML file is known as a template.
Say static, I mean.
Now for static, I'm defining static now. The first two ones were template and template tags. Now static files in Django is let me just write it. Let me write it. Let me write it. Let me see if I can type it here. Let me duplicate this first. Okay. I'll cut this out. I said that template, okay. And answer that it is. I don't like defining this thing. It is template. It is or it refers. Let's say that it refers to any file with any file, not file, any file with a .html extension. Okay, extension. All right. So example of it could be index.html. Okay, another one could be about us.html etc. Okay, and that one is template tags. Template tags. And that's template tags is actually they are, okay, because they're much, okay. They are simple. All right, let's say template tags are simple functions, okay, that enables us to write Python code, a HTML file, within an HTML file, right? That in other words, within a template, within a Django, that's a Django template, okay? A Django template, okay? So example of these tags are these are a few of them. We'll talk about them, okay? So another one, and last one there was static files, okay? Static files. And answer that these are any other files that are not HTML file. An example of this could be a JavaScript file. JavaScript file, and another one is a CSS file, okay, an image file, etc. All right, so that's that. All right, so let us actually see this in the actual code. Okay, let's see this in the actual code. Someone might on. So I believe there's no question so far, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Let me mute it for now, please, because as if I'm hearing background noises from your own side. Okay. Permit me to mute you, please. You can unmute yourself again when you want to ask question. Okay. Okay. So now let's see this. Let's see this in reality, right? Let's see this how this works. All right. So now, any file that's and answer that HTML, right? HTML files are how we create web pages. Okay, that's how we write multiple HTML files, and then we style this file with CSS and JavaScript and put images and make the web page look very wonderful. Typical example. Let's find one website again. Let's say blog again. Let's find that blog again that we normally use. Okay. This person should pay us for always obfuscating his or her site. What do you guys think? We should send an email to one of these sites pay us for always being in this site. Okay, so now if what I did there was I inspect this page. Okay, I want to show you something. Okay, let me see if I can view source page. Okay, so this is basically how an HTML. This is basically how an HTML page looks like. Okay, if you can see, we have multiple HTML tags there. Okay, we have the header tag, the div tag, the a tag, and the rest of them. Okay, this is how we build a website. Okay, so now imagine writing these lines of code. Let's see how many lines is this. Imagine writing this over 941 lines of code here. Where's that our page? So now imagine that we want to come to this kind of page. So imagine us writing 999 lines of code. Let me just copy small and come here and paste. Let's see. Let's understand what's going to happen there. So imagine writing what let me copy here, just here. Let me copy just there. Okay, let me copy just there and come here. So imagine us writing so I will go behind under here. And so imagine us write this is just a small line of code. So imagine us writing this line of code, let me say for 1,000 times, like 999 lines. It's not be nice, okay? It's not, because before you even go and find the login view to correct any correction or anything, okay? Because if you load this page now, this should work in our page, I think. It doesn't work, okay? It doesn't work. All right, so imagine writing this kind of thing here. It doesn't really make sense. It doesn't. It makes the code congested and it's not good. Like it's not nice. Okay, so now Django now say, okay, me Django now, as a smart Django that it is, now tell us, okay, that we can write the same line of code, but inside a file called HTML file, because web pages are being created with HTML file, and this file we want to put it somewhere so that I can understand it and read it properly. Okay, so now instead of us to write these lines of code, over 900 and something lines of code for just one view here, okay, we now write it inside an HTML page and now put that file in a folder called templates. Okay, let me show you what I mean. So I will undo all I've done. Right, so that's what we have. Okay, so now Django now said that we didn't, because since we are going to writing these views in our app, okay, since we're writing these views in our app, okay, now, because if you come to our folder here, there's no view file, meaning that we should not be writing views there, right? So now all our views will be within this our app here, right? So now Django says within your app, okay, within your app folder, create another folder called template. Create another folder called template, and then inside that folder, create another folder, okay, call that folder, the one inside, the same name as your app folder, okay, like it's not as if it's compulsory to call it the same folder like as your app folder, but it is nice, or it is easier to how shall I put it? To specify, okay, which template is this one? This template is for which app or for which app, okay? So it is always advisable that inside that template folder, you create another folder and then name that folder the same name of that app, okay? So now, like now we are in the account app, so we create a template within that. We create a folder within that account app, and then we call that folder template. And then inside that template, inside that folder, we create another folder, and that folder will be account. Okay. Now inside this folder, that is where we now put all our HTML. So we can put our index.html there. Okay. .html. Okay. So now when Django sees templates, okay, Django knows, okay, what I'm expecting to see inside here are HTML files. Okay, so now if you come here and we put CSS file, okay, it won't show an error, but Django will not be able to to work with that file the way it should be, the way it should work with it. Okay, the way it should work with it. Okay, so now it's now be inside this our HTML file. We can now write our HTML tags. Okay, which we'll get to that soon. Okay, so now we now do the same thing for our home app. We now create another folder called templates. Now inside that template, we create another folder called home. Right, we the same thing as our home app, and then we can now put our home.html. So I think this here is what we should have, our index.html. Okay, the index.html, and then here should be, you can put here setup.html. Okay, so this is what we are going to do for our all our HTML files for all our applications. So any app that we create, and we're going to create an HTML file, or within that app, there's a view that we use an HTML file. This is what you should do: create a template folder inside that app folder, and then within that template folder, create another folder called that folder the same name we call your app folder, like your app name. Okay, and then you can go in and put in your HTML within those folders. Then for static folders, I say that for static we do the same thing. Okay, we do the same thing. So for static, what we do is we inside our app folder. Okay, because an HTML static folders, we are likely to always use images, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, and then those files will always modify our HTML files. Okay, because we use CSS to add design, okay, and JavaScript to add maybe functionality or effect on the site. So all those files, Django can say put that file in your static file, create a folder within your app. Okay, I'll call it static. Then call it static in the sense, and then inside that static, create another folder, and then call that folder should be your app folder. Okay, and then within here now you can now add your style.css. You can add other ones. You can add shall I say toggle? You can add another one, toggle.js. That's a JavaScript file, and then you can have another one. You can put like background image. Okay, you can see background image. Okay, .jpg. All right, so you can, all those files will come under that static, this folder here. Okay, so we will do that in our own now. Okay, we'll do that in our own. So the reason why I'm having one static folder here is because, all right, the way I build sites, okay, I know that for any reason, okay, if I have any problem, because a good programmer or a full stack developer will always have one file that's, I say that one HTML file, sorry, one CSS file that runs the design for all the HTML pages. So I'm likely to have just one style sheet, okay, not multiple style sheets, just one. Or even if I have more than one, okay, it will always be likely to be in one folder, like in one spot, okay, in one spot, not separate spots. Okay, so that's why I'm having this just one static folder here, and I like putting this folder in my home app. Okay, I like putting this folder in my home app, but for HTML, definitely I will always have multiple HTML files. Okay, and I'm always likely to have just one style sheet, so I will have one static file. But if there's need for you to have multiple style sheet, and this style sheet will be at multiple locations, okay, then you can go ahead and create the same thing, static, and then the app name, and then that file. All right, and then Python will automatically know, okay, when I come here, I'm expecting to see files that are not HTML files, and then when I come here, I'm expecting to see HTML files. Okay, so I'll do that in our home app. All right, so this is our home app. So I can do that from here. I can do that here. Okay. So I'll do that for home app here. Then I'll do it back in my Visual Studio for the account app. Okay. So for the home app, I'll just do it here. Right. So I'll open my home app. All right. So that within my home app, I'll create a new folder. Right. And this folder, I'll call it templates. Templates with S. Okay. And then within that template, I'll create another folder. I'll create another folder called the app name, okay, which is home, right? Now within this home, I can now have our HTML. So I'll just make it. Okay, I'll create that file from my Visual Studio Code. Okay, so what I've done here is I've come to my home app, created a folder here called template. Then within that template, I created another folder called home, and that home refers to my app name. Okay, my app name. All right, so I'll tell you where you should do that later. I'll tell you where you should do that. Okay, I'll tell you where you should do that. So for the account, I see it is now here. That folder is now here, template and then home. Okay, so it's not there. So I'll do it the same thing with my account. So I'll click on my account and then go to add new folder. I will type in template. And then if I use a backslash, okay, if I use a backslash and then type in account, it means that I'm simply creating a double folder there. Okay, that's what it means in VS Code. So if I click enter, we have a similar thing here, right? Which is here. If you've seen, there's template home and there's template account. Okay, same thing here, right? The same thing there. All right, so I'll cut this out. So I believe there's no question on how we did that.
Sorry, just create it a big screen. Sorry, I lost it.
You lost it. Okay, let me create it again.
Yeah.
So what I did it in two forms. The first way I did it manually. That I went to my file manager. I went to our projects folder. Then within our home app, right? Because this is our home app here, right? So I click on it, open that app, open that folder. Then on an empty background, I right click new, and then this new, and then click on folder, and I create a new folder they call template. Okay, and then within that new folder called template, and I create and I click and enter. Now right click on an empty screen again, and I did another new folder, and then call this folder the home app. That's our home app, right? And call that folder home. So now it will be within this folder that I will now put our HTML files. Okay, so that was what I did. That was what I did with that. All right, so that is it here, template, and then within this template there's home, and then within this home is where I will put our HTML files. So then the second way is I did it in my Visual Studio Code. So I navigated for the account app, I right click on that folder, and then where it says new folder, and I'll click on it, and I made a new folder called template. Right? So this one I'll call this one template, and then after that, if I add a backslash and then add another home, that this thing here means I'm basically creating two folders called template and home. Template being the first folder, and then home being a folder under template. All right. So I will not create that. Now, if I go to my web in my account app, and I see that template folder here, and then that template folder, I now have my account folder. Okay, I don't have my, so I made this other one. I now have my account folder. Okay, so that is that. So I believe everyone followed up to that point.
Yes, sir.
Everyone, okay. So now that we finished, no, let's assume that within this home app, right? Within this home app, now I want to create a new file called index.file, and that's where we will write our HTML files, right? So now I have to come to the home, right? Because this thing is showing on the same line. If you are using Visual Studio, this thing always shows on the same line. Okay, so now you don't have make sure that your cursor is on home, not on the template, on home. And then you right click again and it says new file. All right. And then I'll say I call this file index.html. Okay. And then enter. Then after creating this file, if you go back to your project folder here and then click on your home and then template and then home. Okay. And then home, and this file is not here. And maybe this file is somewhere here, outside here. Please cut it and put it inside that folder. Okay. It should be inside that home folder. Okay. So that's where it should be. Or better still, make sure that your cursor is on the home, not on the template. Okay. Cursor, keep place of cursor on the home and then new file index.html. So this is where we write our. Now I open up that file. The file has been opened and currently that file is empty. So now that file is empty. And how do we? Now here is where we write our normal HTML. Okay. Please, I will not teach you guys HTML, please. All right. I'm not teaching you guys HTML, but I want to believe, okay, because before you go to back, I believe that at least you have a tiny idea about HTML and CSS and JavaScript. Okay. So simple tags like p tag, div tag, and all those tags won't really be a problem, right? So I believe we all know that, right? At least all of us have an idea of HTML. Okay, so I believe we do. So
We don't. I don't.
guys, oh my God. Okay, so okay, but just don't worry. You understand, okay? You understand. You will understand probably when we start writing HTML. We might not actually, okay, truth is we might not actually write HTML because at the end of this track, I want us to probably because I'm aiming for us to actually create something. Okay, we are actually I'm planning for us to create a blog. It could be a blog website or a portfolio website. Okay, and but I'll leave it for you guys to choose which one we should create. Okay, because when we practice, probably in our next class, I will split this project into two. Okay, I'll create another project. Okay, and that project will be the actual project that we are going to create. Okay, so now once I explain here and finish, and I'll head over to that project and then put that explanation into practice there. Okay, so that's what is going to happen probably from next week. Okay, but for now, don't have this in mind that we are either going to create we are either going to create a blog website or a portfolio website, right? So any of that we will actually do, right? Blog or portfolio. So I'll leave it for you guys to choose any of it. Okay. So with our basic understanding of Python, and as each class,
Thank you.
each class will work on our website, and as well we learn and then we carry what we learn and then create something. Okay. So okay, so so for the person that said that does not have any idea about the HTML, okay, please, I would say that I would recommend that you pick up something and just learn HTML. You don't have to know everything, just little, okay, just little, okay. But truth is, when I create a website, I don't create it from scratch. Okay, I start from somewhere. I use templates. Okay, so probably in the next class I'll show you how we do that. Okay, so I don't we are still on the safe side if you don't really know what HTML is. Okay, just know that HTML is a markup language. It's a structure of a web page. Okay, if you look at this web page here, let me hide this again, please. Let me hide this again one more time. Let me hide this. Hide. Okay, so if you look at this all the website here, if when we screenshot, we saw something like we saw something like here, like div, section, footer, all those things are HTML tag. Okay, we use it to create this website you're seeing here, this beautiful website here comes from HTML, okay, from scratch, from HTML. Okay, just know that HTML is a markup language used in creating websites. Is a root structure. Okay, it must be there. Okay, to be a web developer, you must know HTML. Okay, so we will I will try as much as possible to touch it small along the class. Just touch small. Okay, I wanted to cover everything, okay? But touch at least the basic tag and what they do and how we use them, okay? What do and how we use them, okay? So now for those of us that know how HTML work, okay, we know that to even use HTML, there are certain things we have to put in place, okay? And one of it is this thing here. We call this thing a boilerplate. And how I get this is, if you're using VS Code, just type in HTML and you see these 3 options here. Just choose on HTML with 5, okay? Click on it and give you this. So now, to create an HTML page, this structure must be here, right? It's a boilerplate, okay? It must be there. So everything you code now will be within this body. Any HTML tag you want will now be within this body tag here, this tag and this tag, okay? So that's how it is. So now I just write a simple H4 here, or H1 that says home page, okay? Home page. So that's our index.html, right? That says home page. Nothing much is there, okay? It's just a simple HTML, right? A simple HTML there. Okay, so now, but currently, what are we still having here? We are still having the HTTP response that says home page, right? This is what it's showing. If you go to where, if you go to home, remember that URL, right? Home, this URL here. We still have the, I think our set is down. That says, I thought I did that thing. Okay. There's an error somewhere, which I did delete, but our server did not see it. So let me reload this server. Okay, which I've did so. Okay, so I'll refresh this. So now we're still having home page. Okay, that's because this is what is showing here. This is what is showing here. This, sorry, that's account. This is what is showing here. This home page. Okay, so this is okay if only we have to write one tag, okay, but situation where we have to write 900 and something lines of HTML code, okay, we cannot write it here. It will be cumbersome, right? So how do we do that? How do we actually tell Django that when someone comes to here, I want you to show that person this HTML page, okay? That's where render comes in, right? That's where render comes in. And by default, this code, this line of code, this implementation is always here. Each time we start a new app, we always see this code there, okay? That's because Django already know that we will always render an HTML page, okay? Not this, right? Django does not expect any of us to write this, okay? Write this over 800 and something lines of code here. Django does not expect us to do that, okay? So we now use render to do what? To show that HTML page. So I'll go ahead and change this. And then I'll do render, okay? We now use render, right? Now using render, right? Now instead of HTML, instead of HTTP response, we now use render. So I'll take this off since we don't need it anymore. So we now use render, and then the way this render works, this render takes in 3 arguments, okay? So the first argument is request, is compulsory, it's always there, is by default, you must put it there. Now the second one is now in string. The second one in strings is now the HTML page, okay? The HTML page, okay? Page, all right? And then the last argument there is a dictionary, all right? A dictionary. So that's the third argument. So that is argument 1, argument 2, and then argument 3, okay? Argument 1, 2, and 3, all right? So now, for now, we will take up the third argument because we don't need at this point. Probably in the next class, I'll show you how we can use it, but we will always use it, okay? So for now, we will take in these 2 arguments, right? So now the first one is required, compulsory, you must put it. The second one too is required, you must put it. But the third one is optional. You can put it, you cannot, you can also remove it, okay? So now this HTML that you want to render, where is this HTML, okay? This HTML is in our template, right? It's in our template folder. Now within that template folder is there's a home folder. Now within that home folder, there's the index folder, right? But we don't have to tell Django to go to template folder because Django already know that by default that file should be where in the template folder. So we take out that template and then we just say in the home.html. That's where that file is, right? Home.html, home.html, okay? Home.html, okay? Now this file is being where the home folder, okay? Now why we use this home folder is because we can have the same file index.html but in another app, probably in the account app. Now here we are specifically telling Django, because what Django does is Django collects all these HTML and then store them in a one file called templates. So now what we are doing here now is more like should I say a uniqueness, okay? We are just saying Django now during the process of you collecting all these templates, okay? I want you to save these other templates in a folder called home, just in case there's another there's another file called index.html in the account app, okay? That might conflict, okay? So now I am not telling Django use the index.html, the one that's inside this home folder, okay? Because here there's another template, okay? But this other one is our account, okay? So assuming we will not create another folder again, okay? Now, all these files now will have been collected and stored in a folder called template, okay? And then we might have two files that have the same name, index.html, index.html. Then how do we specify, like, tell Django I need this particular index.html? So that was why I said create another folder inside that template and call that folder your app name. So now it's easy to tell Django, like it's easy, like this one is based on your own understanding. This one does not even concern Django. It's for us to understand that this index, I'm referring to the one in our home app. This home could be anything. You can call it anything, but I'm calling that app name so that it can be easy for me to say, okay, the one in my app template, okay, like that template that's in my app folder, okay? So that is easy now. So now, once Django sees this render, it knows that you are now trying to tell him to go and search through the entire template folder and find this file that is inside the home folder and now displace it. Okay, so if you go back to this page and refresh it, we should still have the same thing, okay? We are going to have the same thing, but this time around it's not showing an HTTP response, it's not actually showing an actual index.html file. So if I refresh, now we have the home page. Now this home page is not coming from here anymore. It's now coming from where? The template, the index.html folder, this home page here. So now we can come here and now write another tag called p tag. P tag means paragraph tag. It is used to create a paragraph, and how it does, paragraph in normal writing, you start in a new line, okay? You start in a new line. So the way paragraph works, you can come here and now say, you can come and say that congratulations to templates, okay? To our new template, okay? So now we can run this and now have congratulations to our new template. So now clearly everything is now coming from where? This HTML file. So now within this file, we can now write, even if it's 1 million line of code, it's more convenient here, right? It's more convenient here to write the 1 million line of code than writing it here, okay? So I would say go and do the same thing for the about and the contact. It's not the tags, so the tags will come. This one is just for your own spare time, but I'll still do it in the next class, okay? You can do that for the about and the contact and the rest of them, okay? But your tax is coming up soon, okay? Your tax will come up soon. Okay, I think this Thursday, I think. So that is that. Is there a question on template files? Any question on that? So I believe there's no question. All right, so I'll see you guys in the next class. Because of time, I thought that we want to talk about how we can submit our tax. Because this time around, we're submitting a folder, not a single file. Okay. So, but because of time, there's no more time, right? So we'll talk about it in our next class. Then I will drop something on Slack, and then we'll vote if we should go for a portfolio site or a block side. Whichever one carries the highest vote, okay, it's what we should do, right? So that is that for today. I'll see you in the next class. Good night, everyone.
Are we going to build it from scratch?
You mean, sorry, if I'm going to do,
are we going to build it from scratch?
yeah, no. We've got to down and write HTML now and start designing it. No, just do the functionality, okay? But I'll bring class and then we pick from one that template and then I find one and share templates with you guys and then we work hand in hand with the same template. So
maybe
we
build something that will be dynamic.
Yes. So now what
is more of static, so I think we should go for something that is dynamic.
I'll leave it
for now. Portfolio is okay.
I'll leave it for you guys.
You can start from portfolio before you go to dynamic site. So
I'll leave it for you guys and you guys will pick it there, okay? So but even if what anyone we pick will be dynamic, okay? Just know that anyone we pick will be dynamic because everything will come from the back end, okay? Not static, everything will come from back end, okay? So
portfolio is okay.
So in the next class, I will bring a template, okay? A template is simply an already written HTML with CSS and everything designed website, but it's static, meaning that it doesn't have any functionality, and then we use it to work, okay? So depending on what you guys vote for, is what. So I'll bring that template. If it's portfolio, I'll bring about three templates, and then we pick from them. Then if it's about block, then I'll bring block template, and then we pick, and then we work, okay? So we will learn and we create, we learn, we build till we get to at least something you can actually show to someone that yes, I built this one, okay? So that's how it will be, all right? So I'll see you guys in the next class and we'll continue from here. Good night all.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, sir. Good night.